Welcome to this tutorial where I'm going to teach you how you can make creative melodies in Logic Pro. Wherever you're at in your music production journey, hopefully this tutorial will take you from beginner to pro. Before we jump into actually making a melody, what even is a melody? Melody is basically a sequence of notes played in an order to form a musical phrase. This can look a lot of different ways. That possibilities are really limitless here. In Logic Pro, we use MIDI notes to create melodies. We're going to select empty channel strip as our track. Let's create that. Now over to our left, if we open up the library, we should be able to head in and we'll have a wide variety of different instruments that we're going to be able to choose in here. I'm going to come down into synthesizer and find a pad sound that I like. I found this cool pad sound from a stock instrument in here. Now that we've got our instrument selected, let's go ahead and start creating our melody. The simple technique that we're going to use in this video is called call and response. So basically, it involves coming up with a little melody idea that you like, duplicating that and adding a slight variation at the end. We're going to right click on our screen to create a MIDI region, and we're going to extend this 2 bars for our melody. If we hit E on our keyboard, we come down here to our piano roll where we should be able to have a good view of our melody. And by holding down command, we're able to actually add in notes and extend their value, play with the velocity over here, basically how loud or soft the note is. And we're going to create a melody idea with this. Alright, I came up with a pretty simple melody. This is what it sounds like. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm keeping things really simple. You can see all these notes are just on the quarter, right on the beat, and there's nothing fancy or crazy happening here at all. Now we're going to create a response by holding Option, duplicating this track. We're going to double click on the second one and change it just a little bit so that it resolves the melody line. Alright, we've tweaked the response a little bit. Here's what the whole melody phrase sounds like. It's sounding good, but right now it's a pretty basic dry melody. And this second part of the video is actually going to be more important than the first, because I'm going to show you how to take this very basic melody and to turn it into something that sounds more complex. One very easy way to do this is by adding a counter melody with a different sound. To do this, we're going to create another empty software instrument. Alright, I found this preset called the classic analog pad, and I'm going to create a counter melody to my original melody. The goal of this counter melody is not to take the place of the main melody, rather it's to support it, using notes that sound good with the main original melody that we came up with. Let's jump in and do that. I've just created a very simple counter melody to support this melody. And the way that it's supporting our main melody is actually by playing lower notes that are going to support the sound of the higher notes of our original melody. Here's what this sounds like. If we play them both together. Let's repeat that process and add a final counter melody. Empty channel strip, software instrument, synthesizer, pick a pad sound that we like. And for the second counter melody, I'm going to add a sound that kind of sits above the original melody that we had a little bit. That way we get support from the bottom end as well as the top. Again, the goal is not to outdo the original melody that we played. This is just going to enhance it. Now I've just created a very basic counter melody to sit on the top, and that's really the key with this higher counter melody, is to keep it very simple, because again, we don't want to subtract from the original melody that we've created. Take a listen to this. Altogether, sounds like this. Now you might think that because we've added these melodies and it's starting to sound pretty good that we're finished, but this next section actually contains the key that you need to take your melodies from average to professional sound, and that key is effects. Since we were using stock sounds, they do come with effects already on each individual channel, but something magical happens when we add effects to all of the channels at once. There are lots of different ways to do this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all of these tracks, right click, and now I'm going to bounce these in place. Now I have an audio file that's capturing all of the melodies we've added so far. The first effect that I'm going to add to this is a pitch shifter. What this does is changes the pitch of our original melody. Next, I'm going to add some OTT to this. OTT is like a dynamics processor, but really intense. Let's see what it sounds like if I just throw it on. It's a lot more punchy and in your face now, but almost a little too harsh. So next, I'm going to add an EQ, and we're just going to carve out the frequencies that make this too harsh. Finally, we're going to add some reverb and delay to just give it more space. These are both the stock setting for Logic's reverb and delay, so I haven't really changed or done anything to them except turn it up, and it sounds pretty good to me. And once you have your final melody and are happy with it, it's time to arrange it into a complete song, which is what I'm gonna do right now. To hear that final product, stay tuned to the end of the video. Remember, it does take a willingness to learn, grow, and experiment with new things, but if you have that down, this will come so easily for you. If this tutorial was helpful, you can find plenty more on my channel. Go check those out. Have a great week. Peace.